My dear 10th grade students, I wish you are all well today. Our lesson today is going to be about transitive and intransitive verbs and the forms of the passive voice. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to distinguish between transitive and intransitive verbs, to differentiate between active and passive forms, to identify the forms of the passive voice. First, in English, we have two kinds of verbs. Number one is transitive verbs. What do we mean by transitive verbs? They are verbs that accept one object or more in a sentence. So, we can change the sentence into passive. For example, visit, build, protect, see. Now, my students, who can put these verbs in meaningful sentences? Okay, thank you. Number two, intransitive verbs. What do we mean by intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs are verbs that do not take an object in a sentence. So in this case, we can change these sentences into passive. For example, lie, stand, look. These are intransitive verbs. What do we mean by intransitive verbs? They are verbs that do not take an object. Again, do not take an object, so we can change them into passive voice. There are two kinds of verbs. Number one is transitive verbs. What do we mean by transitive verbs? They are verbs that accept one object or more in a sentence. So, if the verb accept to take one object or more, we call it transitive verb. So, in this case, we can change the sentence from active voice into passive voice. For example, visit, build, protect, see. Now together, let us put the verb visit in a meaningful sentence. Okay, I can see I visit Ramallah. So, where is the verb in this sentence? The verb is visit, and it followed with an object, which is Ramallah. So, please, can you put the other verbs in meaningful sentences? Okay. Number two, intransitive verbs. What do we mean by intransitive verbs? They are verbs that do not take an object in the sentence. So in this case, we can't change the sentence into passive. For example, the verbs lie, stand, look. Let us put the verb look in a meaningful sentence. She looks angry. So the verb is looks, and we have angry. Angry is an adjective. Now we are going to talk about how to change active sentences into passive sentences. For example, we have this sentence. The engineers needed thousands of people to construct the pyramids. Where is the verb in this sentence? Yes, the verb is needed. Is it a transitive or intransitive verb? Good, it's transitive verb. And we have thousands of people as an object. So, we can change the sentence into passive. But what we are going to do is first to put the object at the beginning of the sentence and we will call it new subject. Then we have to bring suitable be verb. Then a suitable be verb. What are they? They are is, am, are, was, and were. So the be verbs are is, am, are, and they are present. Then we have was and were as a past verbs. Then we change the main verb into past participle. But in this sentence, which one do we need? We have 5 members of be family. Which is the most suitable one for my sentence? I go to the new subject. It's thousands of people and we have plural subject. So we are going to the plural members which are and were. Then we will return to the main sentence which is the engineers needed. So the main verb now will help us to choose the most suitable one. Needed, is it present or past? Excellent. It ended with ed, so it's past. In this sentence, we will choose were. So, thousands of people were. The main verb is needed, and the past participle of the verb also is needed. So, thousands of people were needed, the complement of the sentence to construct the pyramids. Again, please, my students, pay attention to the new subject, is it plural or singular, and the verb or the main verb, is it present or past. Now, let's change these sentences into passive forms. But remember, the rule is the object as a new subject, then be verb, suitable be verb, then the main verb has to be as past participle. Now, number 1, people find remains everywhere. Again, people find remains everywhere. First, the subject is people, the verb is find, and the object is remains. So, what we are going to do is to put the object at the beginning of the sentence and we call it a new subject, Then we have to go to be family and choose a suitable verb. Again, it depends on the subject and the verb. The subject is plural and the main verb is present. So, we have to bring are. So, remains are. The verb here is find. What is the past participle of the verb find? The past participle is found. Again, the sentence remains are found by people everywhere. Number 2, Muslims consider Jerusalem as a holy city. Muslims consider Jerusalem as a holy city. Where is the subject? It's Muslims. The verb consider. The object Jerusalem as a holy city is a complement. So, what are you going to do? Excellent. Put the object at the beginning. So, Jerusalem is the new subject, Jerusalem is singular, the verb consider present, so we bring singular and present be verb, which is, and the main verb consider transformed into verb 3, which is considered, and the complement of the sentence as a holy city by Muslims. So the sentence will be Jerusalem is considered as a holy city by Muslims. Number 3. The Caliph built his holy place. Again, where is the subject? Where is the verb? And where is the object? Okay, the object is this holy place. So it becomes the subject, and the verb is built, which is past. The new subject is singular. So if the new subject is singular and the verb in the past, we bring was. Excellent. The verb 3 or the past participle of built still as it is built by the Caliph. The last example is high walls protected the old cities. The new subject will be the old cities. Old cities. Cities is a plural, and the main verb protected is past. So if we go to be verbs, it will give us a plural and past member. Which one is plural and past? It is where. The old cities, which is plural, and the verb where, then the verb protected, the past participle of the main verb, which is protected by high walls. Now please, I'll ask you to do this exercise at home and send it to your teacher in the nearest meeting between you and your teacher. Thank you today, my students.